Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6. I think it's episode 8, possibly 9. But however, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe if you are new, and you can leave your comments below. Now let's get into this week's supersized episode. Lord, y'all. I remember seeing some stuff online regarding what this episode was about some months ago. I know that Meredith, off the top of her around that time, she denied everything. But anyways, before we get there, of course, everyone's getting up, doing their thing. We're still on the boat. It's almost over, thank God. Some of the folks that get up to do yoga, Angie, Meredith, Angie, Heather, Whitney, and Brittany. Heather's going on and on because she was not going to miss this yoga class because she don't do it. I ain't going to say what I wanted to say. But anyway, she's thirsting after Captain Jason. Heather admitted, not in this episode, but basically that she did sleep with Captain Jason. However, Captain Jason was on Watch What Happens Live on Monday and denied it. We're just great friends. Would you be great friends with anybody that's trying to claim your... I'm just saying, Captain Jason. Do I think Heather's lying? Yeah. Why in the world are you going around saying what is on your belt notch, Heather? I don't understand. I mean, put it in another memoir. You got a 3-book deal or something that's going on as you moved your table so you can write a book. So do that. Brittany's going on how she does not like the pile up. I'm just doing the same things you guys do. And Heather says that, well, you know, you came for a marriage. You should expect, and I'm paraphrasing, the worst. Later on, there's breakfast at 10:30. I think it was originally supposed to be 10, but I think it was 10:30 as I was listening to the staff back there get everything prepared. Mostly everyone sit down for whatever dumb reason. They got Meredith and Brittany sitting right. Oh, wait, before we get there. Brown visits Meredith. Meredith is snatched. Her body looks good. Anyways, Brown tells Meredith about, how she was trying to help Brittany, saying, you can't do all that. You went for a marriage, da 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 da. So Brown, what did she say? What did Heather say first? I mean, not Heather, Meredith. She said something to that. She thinks she has the aptitude of a Disney princess, and she's the epitome of a Disney princess. I said, Lord Jesus. And then equated her to the Tin Man, but they really meant the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz of having an empty brain. Anyways, Browns said, I got the unicorn. Why don't we throw it overboard? So they get dressed in their costumes. I think they were just trying to create a scene. Anyways, they throw the unicorn stuffed thing over the boat into the water. Breakfast time. Meredith is ready to confront Whitney. If we're going to be friends, how come you didn't tell me about what was going on? Whitney took accountability as to what she was doing during the whole time. Brittany was so like, don't blame her, it was me, da, 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 da. And I was coming to you as a friend. No, you weren't. You came to her to try to start something. You can't just stop it. Stop it. And then, I'm just opening the floor. I understand if you don't want to share. Remember you said that, ma'am? Just to egg her on in regards to the whole Cedar mess that you were going on. You wanted that reaction out of her, and you got it. And you're going to get everything that's on the tail end of what Meredith wants you to feel in regards to all of this. So anyways, Whitney says, look, I told Brittany, as she was sharing me all this information, like, you either need to tell her, or I'm going to tell her, I'm going to give you a chance to say whatever, blah, 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 blah. You decided to bring it forth in front of the whole group. And you got what you got. That's all I got to say, Brittany. There was this picture of Meredith turning her back to Brittany and flossing her hair. It didn't get on her or whatever. But then Brittany tried to do it back to her. But the hair was getting all over her on Meredith. And she was like, don't touch me, da 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 da. So Meredith and Whitney switched places, as it should have been in the first place. I think I know Angie, she spoke and about how Brittany was treated and da 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 da. And Meredith was like, look, I'm done with her. And anyone else that wants to support her, da 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 da, I'm done with you too. And then Heather was like, are you kidding me? No. I meant what I said. Oh my God. So at this point, Heather is now on Meredith's back. They get up, depart, pack, and they go, they say their goodbyes to the staff and Captain Jason. That flight, I think, was like 15 hours long. According to some and others, hell broke loose. VIA Meredith. Meredith, who would not calm down in regards to how Brittany brought up those cheating rumors. According to some, Meredith was bullying along with Lisa. Some of them said that they went to sleep and got back up. Meredith was still going on and on and on and on. It was pretty horrific. They were bullying her. Later on, there's a scene where Brittany's talking with Heather. They were pulling my hair, throwing wine on me. I mean, you would have thought that this was like really Mean Girls, the movie. I said, oh, okay. But nobody got any camera footage. There wasn't a disturbance. Air traffic control did not, or whomever they are, did not arrest Meredith for being in a disturbance. Some people said, well, they were in first class, so they wouldn't do that. I don't know anything about that. I haven't been in first class before, and I haven't seen any disturbances when I have flew on a plane in the first place, so I don't know what actually happens. I mean, from a live perspective, but you mean to tell me Meredith could go on and on and on and on and on? Was nobody else on that flight besides those ladies? They gave us a seating chart. Mary, somebody, Lisa, Meredith, or Meredith, Lisa, Brittany over there. I don't know why they put her there. Heather and Whitney are in another, like right next, whatever. Heather said that she woke up towards the tail end of it, and she was seeing Lisa. She was yelling at Brittany. Show her the thing. At Whitney. Show. You mean to tell me, let's say for 14 hours, you were asleep through all of that? Not Miss Velma, Scooby-Doo. You weren't up knowing how this girl was. It couldn't have been that tragic to me, because I think you would have been on alert, because you are the disciplinarian, as you're going to be later on in this episode. I mean, people come to the principal's office because of you. Someone put online that it was just, this part of the episode just seemed like this was a HR meeting when Brittany and Heather met up. But before we get there, Mary has lunch or whatever with Brown, and she first tells her about what she knows about what happened on the flight. And Mary's like, it wasn't great. Da, 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 da. Brown did not catch the flight because she didn't fly with them in the first place. So she made her own booking deal and all that, and she flew solo home. Whitney and Brown, they did meet up later on, and they talked a little bit about Brown told her what Mary told her about what happened. Da, 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 da. Of course, I believe that that bad weather people will put 100 on 20. And all that good stuff. So basically, Heather and Whitney are kind of like on the same page at how things were, even though folks were asleep and all that good stuff. So, Brown opens up that there's something on Twitter about her husband. Her husband was caught on a plane looking at girls. But Brown called that cheating. I mean, I don't know what rules are in people's relationships or whatever, but looking at girls, or like scrolling, I guess, on the internet or something and looking at girls is supposedly cheating. Okay. Whatever. But she said, I really want to have discussions with Todd about, I want to be in the position of, if you are caught doing this and that, I could say, well, I picked them out for you. Meaning, I think that we need an arrangement. That you can do what you do and I can do what I do. I don't want to leave my relationship. I just want to have options, and we talk and have honest conversations. I go do this, you go do that, da 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 da. And then when I'm confronted about certain things, da 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 da, it's not going to be like I'm what is it? It's not like the rug is pulled up from under me and then I have to defend and all that good stuff. Whitney opens up and says, yeah, that's what me and Justin did, he's older and all that, and we got certain things going on, da 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 da. Like, it's crazy. Like, he wasn't older when y'all was cheating though. When y'all was cheating with your spouses with each other. But anyways, I'm gonna do something to just always shade Whitney because I just don't like her. But anyways, yeah, so we ended up going to therapy, and therapy helped us to realize that we were really missing each other. But y'all were right there. Justin doesn't have the same sex frequency as you do. He's older, and you need something else. Like, am I missing something? Because you don't make any sense as to what the therapist helped you to realize, that y'all missed each other. Y'all been right there. So, but yeah, I'm for our old men. We got older men, and da 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 da. And look, we have needs, and you go do da 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 da. I don't want to lose Justin either. I guess you don't want a second failed marriage, whatever. So I would say that this is groundbreaking for reality TV. But Mr. Carlos King, he put us on game years ago when he first started reality with the King on his podcast. He told us about the arrangements, and I think he spoke about that when the whole Karen and Blue Eyes situation was kind of blowing up per Robin, and then when Robin's Juan was possibly having an affair with someone, da 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 da. He brought that up. Like, no, there are reality stars that I know have arrangements. It's just that on that on that. So yeah, the fourth wall has been broken on that type of situation. Don't think that there's going to be a lot of people that'll be open and honest about that. One, we have an older generation still occupying at least the Housewives thing, and then people like to weaponize your marriage. However, if you know what you got going on in your marriage, nobody can weaponize anything, in my opinion. But you got the older generation where it's like taboo, and we keep that at home at what we do, and that's cool. Candy has been open of them bringing someone in the bedroom. Like, even Brown was saying, I'm open to possibly someone coming into the bedroom, let's just kind of see what's up. But they haven't, as far as Candy has communicated, they haven't gone and did their own thing, her and Todd. So, but yeah. But this is the first time that this is being brought up and discussed on reality TV, for real, that we have an arrangement. Because most will go to hell and back if you talking about my marriage. Heather and Brittany, they sit down. Finally, Heather has something to eat in an illustrious salad. Did she eat it? I don't know. But Brittany had the same. And they had, what was it, Diet Cokes or Diet Pepsis? I don't know. But anyway, she sits down and, Brittany, I'm a survivor, but they've just taken the wind out of my sails. How mean, they were kicking my chair. She was saying all this stuff and wanting me to show the TikTok video. I can't believe that she turned on me like that. I've been a big supporter of her, and why would she do this to me? She said that I effed up. I mean, you did F up, whether Lisa said it or not. And of course, Heather was like, that's not right. Da, 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 da. I'm not on the fence of what's right and wrong anymore. I'm just going to be 100% on your side. Thank you. Because, I'm like a rubber ducky that floats to the top. But now I'm a broken rubber ducky. A rubber ducky that floats still to the top because it's not going to the bottom. Regardless. Of course, it was revealed before they got on the plane about the unicorn situation. And Meredith basically laughed in her face about doing that. And they didn't like it. The other cast. It was a lot. Bronwyn, you are very mean, and you're doing this on the strength of being accepted into the group by anyone. I don't like that. I actually like you, so it's like, why you keep doing that stuff? And then you kind of are that throw your rock, hide your hand type of thing, or you'll use people to get things that you want to try to win acceptance within this group. Who met up next? Well, Heather and Lisa, they get together. Lisa was looking pretty good in all her stuff. Was that Dolce & Gabbana? I think it was. Don't get me the line. I don't. In one of them, but she made sure she was dressed to the T. I will say that when everyone got off the plane, Lisa and John, they talked about Meredith. Like, Meredith wasn't really good. Da 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 da. I tried to do my best to try to calm her down. Da 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 da. So there is a witness of someone I think who could validate that something happened on the plane. But what? We don't know. Some could be exaggerating and all this good stuff. I don't know. But anyways, they meet. And of course now, Principal Gay has to now hand out her slip and start writing up detentions for Lisa and how she was feeling about how she was treating Brittany. This is what Brittany said that happened. She was like, well, wait, for the most part, you were asleep. Yeah, at the end, I did see what I saw. Well, how are you going to say what I did? Da, 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 da. I heard you say to Whitney, show the TikTok. She said, I was trying to get Meredith to calm down as much as possible. I cannot control her. And all I wanted one of them to do is just show the TikTok, because she wasn't believing all this. She was up, da 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 da. Don't try to pin this on me. Well, I can only go by what Brittany said. Well, then go by what Brittany said and shut your mouth, da 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 da. I'm saying that right now. But you're not going to pin this on me. I don't care what any of you itches are. Then basically, at some point, Heather was like, oh, well, you can just leave of this table, because you're not going to be calling me a bitch. And I said, yeah, to all the itches that want to try to pin this on me and try to, no, that was not it. I feel bad for how Brittany may feel towards that whole thing, but I'm not a part of this whole situation, so don't do that to me, blah, 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 blah. So Lisa started to tear up and cry, but I am so glad she did not do what she usually does. Which she would have just kind of just left the table, but she didn't. She got it together. But anyways, or maybe she did leave, and then they finally made her come back and finish the scene. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, basically, you got the tension and possibly a suspension, Lisa, for all your stuff that you did and all that. How Lisa is describing even Meredith, it doesn't seem like it was as bad as what Heather, Brittany, and Whitney are trying to describe it to be. She said that she got wine spilled on her. Lisa says that the wine was spilling on me. It did not. It did not. It may have splashed. It could. There's a possibility when it may have been getting on Lisa, the major portion, but it may have splashed. But I don't think it was possibly intentional. You know, I mean, Meredith made sure that it was intentional on the boat. So, do I think that she's just? No, I don't think so. She said that that her chair was being kicked and shook. All I know is Meredith got up and moved the sheet so she can get up, or something to that nature. Is that a little bit sketchy of Meredith possibly doing something? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I just need to know, did Brittany just take it? That's the thing. Like, well, what did you do during this whole situation? Because now your hair's being pulled, wine being all this. You just crumbled up inside. And then Heather said, don't you know that at the end of that flight, 4 people had to assist her? So I have live footage of when Brittany had to be escorted off the plane. Take a look at this. I don't think it was. I don't think she had to be carried out like that. What in the world? So the time that it's time for Brittany to be a Karen, she wasn't a Karen. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So next conversation is Meredith and Mary. Mary came out of a lot of concern, and Meredith was really denying most of what Mary was saying. Mary didn't even go into details, but she was like, look, I was seeing a lot, but you were asleep for most of the time. How could you even hear me with the earphones on? Some people think that Meredith was drunk or something, and she don't even remember some of the stuff that she was doing. I don't know if it's gaslighting or not, but for Mary to have this type of concern for Meredith, I can't say you didn't do nothing, Meredith. For you to say this was a simple 15-20 minute rant or whatever, but I think it was more in the form of venting. However, I need somebody to say, what was Brittany doing on that flight? I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm in better clothes. Well, if you're in first class, I'm in better clothes on a flight. I gotta sit here, and you think I'm going to be stuck with wine all over me by people and being kicked? You didn't ask to move. No passengers. The other passengers right there, there's no footage of it. I still think it's been dramatized. I believe that Meredith was going off, and she wanted the proof, receipts, da-da-da-da-da. But y'all can go to your own determination. Y'all get in my comments. I know somebody that frequently comes to my channel that's going to say, get a Heather. I'm glad they're coming after Lisa. Shout out to Erica. I don't know if I'm defending Lisa, but I kind of think that Lisa's part makes sense, because everybody else is just leaving it very general, or to me being too dramatic, in my opinion. But y'all let me know in the comments. Very good episode, in my opinion. I appreciate everyone for coming. Like this video, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.